Good day, everyone. Today we look at Exodus chapter 32. This chapter in the Old Testament deals with the following themes: idolatry, intercession, and divine judgment, all of which find their fulfillment in the person and work of Jesus Christ. So let's walk through this chapter and uncover how it points to Jesus and the spiritual truths it offers. Chapter 32 verse 1 to 6 begins with the Israelites growing impatient as Moses takes his time to come down from Mount Sinai. In their impatience, they persuade Aaron to make them a god to lead them, resulting in the creation of the golden calf. This act of idolatry is a blatant violation of the covenant they had just entered into with God. How do we connect this with Jesus? This scene highlights humanity's tendencies to turn away from God and towards idols when we feel abandoned or impatient. In contrast, Jesus embodies faithfulness and perfect obedience to God. Where the Israelites faltered, Jesus stood firm. He is the true leader who does not leave or forsake us, according to Hebrews 13 verse 5. Furthermore, the golden calf incident highlights the need for a mediator who can bridge the gap between a holy God and a sinful humanity. The second theme deals with intercession in Exodus 32 verse 7 to 14. When God informs Moses of the people's sin, God expresses his anger and intention to destroy them, offering to make a great nation from Moses instead. Moses intercedes for the people, appealing to God's promise to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and God's reputation among the nations. How do we connect this to Jesus? Well, Moses' intercession is a precursor to the ultimate intercession made by Jesus Christ. Moses pleads for mercy on behalf of the Israelites, foreshadowing how Jesus would later stand in the gap for all humanity. Hebrews 7 verse 25 tells us that Jesus always lives to make intercession for us. Unlike Moses, who intercedes based on past promises, Jesus intercedes based on his finished work on the cross. Thirdly, there is the theme of judgment in Exodus 32 verse 15 to 29. Moses descends the mountain, shatters the tablets of the law, and destroys the golden calf. He calls for those who are on the Lord's side to come to him, and the Levites responded. It all ended in the death of 3,000 people who committed idolatry. How do we connect this with Jesus? The breaking of the tablets symbolizes the broken covenant due to sin. Jesus, however, came to fulfill the law according to Matthew 5 verse 17 and establish a new covenant through his blood according to Luke 22 verse 20. The judgment executed by the Levites demonstrates the seriousness of sin and the need for atonement. Jesus takes this a step further by offering himself as the atonement, satisfying God's justice while providing mercy. Lastly, there is the theme of intercession in Exodus 32 verse 30 to 35. Moses returns to the Lord, offering himself to atone for the people's sin, even to the point of asking to be blotted out of God's book if necessary. God responds that he will hold the sinners accountable and that he will send his angel to lead them. This connects to Jesus in the following way. Moses' willingness to sacrifice himself points directly to Jesus' sacrificial love. While Moses cannot atone for the people's sins with his life, Jesus can and does. Jesus is the good shepherd who lays down his life for the sheep, according to John 10 verse 11. Moreover, Jesus ensures that those who believe in him will never be blotted out of the book of life in Revelation 3 verse 5. What spiritual truths and applications can we learn from this chapter? Number 1, never be impatient and become idolatrous. Just as the Israelites' impatience led to idolatry, we too are prone to create idols when we do not wait on God. Jesus teaches us to trust in God's timing and to worship him alone in Matthew 4 verse 10. Number 2, the need for a mediator. Moses' role as a mediator highlights our need for Jesus, the ultimate mediator who reconciles us to God according to 1 Timothy 2 verse 5. Number 3, intercession. Jesus intercedes for us continually. This should encourage us to approach God with confidence, knowing we have an advocate in Jesus according to Hebrews 4 verse 14 to 16. Number 4, judgment and mercy. The seriousness of sin and judgment of sin reminds us of the necessity of atonement. Jesus' sacrifice on the cross demonstrates both God's justice and mercy according to Romans 3 verse 25 to 26. Number 5, covenant faithfulness. God's faithfulness to his covenant, despite Israel's unfaithfulness, is a statement to his grace. In Jesus, we have a new covenant, sealed by his blood, assuring us of God's unwavering commitment to us, according to Hebrews 9 verse 15. Exodus 32, therefore, not only recounts a significant event in Israel's history, but also profoundly points to Jesus Christ, highlighting his centrality in God's redemptive plan. It calls us to examine our own hearts for idols, trust in Jesus' mediation, and rest in the assurance of his intercession and atoning sacrifice. God bless you.